What's up, everybody? Welcome. We are here hanging out in my hot rod Paramotor garage, and I was just having some difficulties just a moment ago, so I do apologize for that. But like I said, I just wanted to come on here, say what's up to everybody, see who hops on the live, see what's going on, talk about the epic SkyMax Pulsar, also talk about some of the crazy crap that happened to me today, which is insane. I can't believe what has been going on for this summer season. And I do have to admit, it's been like one of the toughest summers that I have ever had to come up against. Only because of all these little issues with the house going on with the water, and then the AC, and then now my work van slash paramotor van just totally went down. And what happened was, I don't get it. Like, I heard the other day like a slight tapping going on in my work van, my paramotor van too. And what's crazy was I just figured maybe it was dirty oil, so I'll give it an oil change. So I just bought a whole like tune-up kit for the van, and I decided today, Sunday, that I would actually do the project because I figured, all right, I'm gonna throw in spark plugs, I'm gonna throw in, all these new fluids, do all this stuff, right? So I figured while I was having everything draining, right, like I would change the spark plugs on the van. I don't know if most of you guys are aware of this, but changing spark plugs on a van is very tight and difficult. And I mean, that was really tough. But I did it, and then come to my surprise, while I let everything else draining out of the van, and while I then plugged everything up, and then I filled everything up with all new fluids, I realized when I came to the last two spark plugs that I was actually changing on my work van slash paramotor van. Uh, Cylinder 7 and 8 were full of oil when I was pulling the spark plugs out, which was nuts. Like when I pulled the coil covers off of them, I was like, whoa, are these soaked in oil? And they were soaked in oil. And then I was thinking, like, whoa. I was like, is my valve cover leaking or something like that? And I'm like, so I'm checking everything and nothing's leaking anywhere. So what do you do when you see oil on the top or say on the bottom of your spark plug on a four stroke? You gotta check compression, right? So I go to check compression on cylinder 7 and 8 because they're the ones that I found at the end that were like that. And then, I can't believe it. No compression in either of the cylinders. So right after I put all that new fluids in it, hey, I got a question. Do you think self-training on paramotors would be easier to learn since I've done kite buggies? Okay, so this is a really good thing to talk about. So, all right, so here's a perfect example, and I'm really sure that my new friend that I've just became friends with from another pilot buddy. So, long story short, there was a kite surfer, right? A professional kite surfer who has been doing it since he was in his teenage years, right? And then he met another friend, which was one of my pilot friends for paramotoring, and he was talking about paramotoring, this and that, and my new buddy now, which I don't want to say names yet, just I'll make sure I talk to him first about this, which I think he wouldn't care. But if you guys watch if you guys watch my videos on Facebook and Instagram, and you'll see who I'm talking about. But this guy, man, I'm quite impressed with him because he didn't get any training at all. I mean, no training at all. And all he did was he hung out with me and Pilot Pat for, to my knowledge, one time together. One time together. We all hung out together and we were kiting. He was kiting with like a training harness or training wing, like not a flying glider. And then he was actually having some issues with that because they're smaller, they're way more touchier. So I told him, I was like, you want to try the Roadster, And he was like, if you don't mind. I was like, yeah, throw the Roadster on. Dude, his first try kiting on the beach with a little bit of laminar winds, dude, he was kiting like what I had to do for a few months to get to that point. And like I said, this guy was just a kite surfer, and those are a totally different glider. Like, it's a totally different setup. Like, it's not the same. So what I'm trying to explain is, like, if you say you come from something that you understand trying to keep a glider or some type of a wing above you and then you understand flying, I would like to say I I want to say this too first before I say anything. I don't ever recommend learning how to do this on your own because I have personally seen really bad things happen. And I tried to learn on my own, and I'm actually grateful that I ran into or met these other professional pilots that couldn't wait to mentor me, and that is very rare. And like I said, I got into this in a very special way, and but regardless, though, I got trained. But I tried to do it on my own, but I've never had any kind of experience before. So like when I tried to do it, I couldn't figure it out. Like I had a lot of these confusing things happening, and then especially when I put the paramotor on my back. So, but dude, this new pilot now, like I said, hung out with us one time, and not only did he kite with us one time, to my knowledge, he bought a whole setup, right? And then me and him hung out, right? I told him I thought it would be much better if I brought my other spare helmet and we were at least talking ear, like, so we were both, in each other's heads, you know what I mean? Because I felt like if he had any scary issues for his very first time or whatever, and I couldn't believe that he was telling me he was going to fly. So we go to the beach, and I'm not kidding you guys. I actually am a little upset because my GoPro footage from my helmet didn't actually get anything good because I was getting a lot of static because I didn't have my cable screwed all the way in. I was still learning the helmet, the Envalo helmet. But regardless of that, uh, dude, this guy took off first try so clean that he looked like somebody who really went into training for his 2 full weeks and then he took his first flight. I mean, he took off so pro that I was taken back, and I couldn't believe watching him take his first flight so clean. But there was a problem. There was one issue. So I guess, when he was on the beach fiddling around, his seat got way behind him, like meaning like it got up on his back, kind of, which is like you never want it that high. And a lot of times, like it's just little adjustment issues, or like you don't realize things like this yet because you're so in the beginner-ish kind of stage. But it was so funny because he went right up, and I was trying to tell him to stay up, but he was like, "No, I gotta come down. I gotta come down." And like to all my flying experience, the whole idea is you want to get up as high as you want or high as you can. I'm sorry, and then you have time to adjust and fix yourself. But it was a good thing that he actually came down because it was way high up on him. He would have never been able to get it back under him. But then when he figured that out, dude, I'm not even kidding you, man. This was his first time flying, and I mean with no paramotor training. But he's actually a airliner pilot too, as well as a professional kite surfer. So like a lot, don't get he had a lot of good background that really did carry him. But dude, that just shows to go that with the right mindset and understanding, paramotors can be easy to some, but really proper training is a must. So like what I'm trying to at least say to you, my man, is like if you go and self train, which I'm not against anyone doing because that's what I tried to do. But then when I got trained from my mentors, because I got trained from a couple different guys really, but the main one who trained me, he also taught me how important it was that every chance you get, you go right out to the field, you go right out to the beach, you go right out to the airport, and you kite, you kite, you kite, you kite. You put the paramotor on your back, you taxi, you taxi, you taxi. You learn how to lean back and have trust in your thrust. You know what I mean? Trust your gear. And like what I've learned from paramotoring is that I had to really give up a lot too to learn how to do this. And that was the best part about it. And really, like I said, I feel like you could probably do it, but just I would do the extra practice. You know what I mean? Because it sounds like if you've done trike or buggy triking or whatever, like if you're flying, so I'm assuming that you were flying those buggy four-wheel quad vehicles, right? Is that what you were talking about? Yeah, yeah. So the idea is, so this is what I was taught from the people that taught me, right? So The idea of flying a paramotor is that if you can't kite the glider in all different types of winds, in all different types of winds, like meaning from like 0 to let's say 15, right? 0 to 15. If you can't kite the glider in all three of those conditions and know how to drop it, know how to pick it up, and know how to really handle the glider, you should not go flying in the air. Like, and I ain't gonna lie, that's the whole reason why I got all these GoPros. The reason why I bought all these GoPros in the beginning is because I wanted to study myself, but also make challenges for myself. So I used to set my GoPros up in all parts of the field, right? And I used to try to tell myself, okay, I'm gonna have a little bit of a crosswind if I try to run towards, say, the bleachers, and then just almost get to the bleachers, and then try to run to the van. You know what I mean? Without, or my truck at the time, and then run without dropping the glider. And man, there's been that's what made me get really good on my takeoffs. You know, because I've always noticed, and I'm never ever picking on anybody. I've noticed that one of the best things that I have for flying is that are my takeoffs because I feel like 'cause I practice so much all the time on the ground with kiting, you know, and then now with having the pulsar, I feel like that's like one of my cleanest things that I do. And don't get it wrong, like there's people out there that do it way better than me, and I totally get that. I'm not acting like I'm doing it the best. I'm just saying I'm getting cleaner, you know? And believe me when I say this too, I'm never in any type of a competition with anybody. I'm just always in a competition with myself. And all I ever really want to be is a safe pilot and just have a lot of fun and share the adventures with all of you guys. Self teach. Yes, exactly, and that's what I did. You know, I practiced. Dude, there's countless, like thousands of hours of on the ground with the paramotor on my back, with just the glider, dude, pushing myself in 30-mile-an-hour winds. Dude, I've kited in 30-mile-an-hour winds on the ground, and I have been tossed around. And dude, I have all those videos, you know. And it's well, I don't have all my videos, but I do have most of them, and it's crazy to think that some of the best times ever, really, you know. And now, with all the things that I've learned and I've witnessed and been through myself and seen others do, it's like paramotoring. Sorry, paramotoring is really the best thing that has ever happened to me. And I do truly believe that if you're a real adventurer for flying, it's really the best thing you can ever get your hands on. There's no adventure like paramotors. And, you know, my goal is in life right now is to get a whole bunch of these. And, you know, I want to get all my friends who have never done it to do this. And that's like a dream of mine. And only because I want them all to experience it. There's nothing like it, you know. And I know that there's a couple of my friends out there that I grew up with from day one that would do anything to do this, and I still can't believe that I'm doing this. And here we hold like some of the best paramotors ever, and they're right here in my shop, you know. And now we're starting to have some of the nicest gear right here in my shop, and it's just, you know, it's mind blowing, and it's very exciting, and it's all life changing. And like I said, it's really cool that I get to share it with everybody, you know. And I love this life. And what's exciting is that I'm going to give away one of these paramotors too. I'm going to give away the blue one, the Sky Max R with the Vitarazi Moster 185 with the two blade E prop on it to one of you that are subscribed right here on my YouTube channel. And how? You just got to be subscribed. But we have to get up to a certain amount of subscribers to get to that point, right? So I was thinking a lot about what I should do for my next giveaway. And I've been telling all of you guys how bad I want to do a giveaway for a paramotor, right? But sometimes I can't just do certain things, right? Because like I said, I'm Team SkyMax right now, and I have both of their models that they sell today right now. If you guys want any of them, like I said, you can hit me up. They're the models that they have, and they come in two different sizes each, which is super awesome. I'm subscribed, so that would be cool, dude. So RC Aviation, what's your name again? I'm so sorry. Like I said, I don't want to keep saying that. I remember you telling me your name once before, but I'm sorry to ask again. I'm always very terrible with names because I talk to so many different people. So, but like I said, everybody, I'm excited about this giveaway, but I can't just give it away, right? Because I was thinking, like, okay, I've been having all of my own shirts now and SkyMax shirts, right? So, like I said, guys, I have SkyMax shirts. If you guys would like to buy and purchase a SkyMax shirt, that's super epic. Hit me up. Or if you want to buy a Flying Dan with a 29 sedan shirt, that's super epic too. Or my other company, MBE PBG, nothing but epic PBG. But just hit me up and just let me know. Elijah. Right? Did I say it right? Elijah? I'm always like the worst with pronouncing names, so please, if I said it wrong, I am very sorry. But dude, I'm very happy that you're on the live. Dude, like I said, this is a very life-changing thing for me, and I'm happy to share it with all of you guys. And like I said, I love doing these live streams to hang out with people that are subscribed to my YouTube channel. Because like I said, I am so grateful for people like you that actually follow along, that love watching my videos too. Because I really love doing the flying, and I really love, sharing these adventures. And I do know that, like, not every single video that I do record I should post, right? Because I video every single one of my flights. But what's funny is that I don't post every one of my flights. That's what's really funny. People don't realize how much I really fly. And if I actually posted every single one of my flights, people would be blown away. I can't tell you how many hours up in the sky and how many flights now. It's so exciting. But that being all said, like I said, we're doing an epic giveaway. We're giving away the SkyMax Star with the Vitarazi Monster 185. And like I said, in between that, if we get halfway to that 100K subscribers, if we get to 50K subscribers, we will be doing a giveaway to one of you guys on my YouTube channel that are subscribed completely for free. We're going to give away an Envalo helmet. Not this one. This is my helmet. What we'll do is, when you win at 50K, once I'll do a draw on that, which is going to be super exciting, to whoever wins, I'll make sure we get your head size, because like I said, not all of us are the same size heads. And I learned that with that newest pilot that just came about, because when he wore this, dude, me and him are like the same size, but who would have known? I must have a really small head. He has a normal size head, right? So like I said, I have a smaller head. So that being said, once we hit the 50K subscribers, one of you are going to win the Envalo helmet, and we will just do a order right there and then, and you get to pick all the stuff on it, which is going to be very exciting because they have different colors. Very exciting stuff. So, like I said, though, you have to smash that subscribe button. Make sure you guys share these videos with your friends. Make sure you guys let everybody know what I'm doing, what I'm trying to do. Like I said, I'm trying to better myself with my gear, having better mics now for my for my videos, so you guys can hear me more clearly. but I'm trying to. I want to be a YouTuber, and I have been, and I do love this. And it's crazy to think, I'll never forget the day when I got monetized. Like, I got monetized on Facebook first, and when that happened, I was so baffled, right? Like, it took me days to just take that in, to think, wow, I'm really having like a monetization on Facebook, and I'm really making some type of a revenue now off of Facebook, just off of making all these reels. And then I was hanging out with a couple buddies of mine. We were all talking about YouTube one night, and they were talking about it, and I was thinking, like, yeah, I have all these videos. Like, I have a lot of videos that I could literally just dump right on there, because I was already doing little videos all the time. And I just couldn't believe it. Like, within probably like 6.5, 7 months of actually posting videos on YouTube, I got monetized on YouTube. And I couldn't believe it, and it's exciting to think that that it happened. And it's something that I never thought, and something that I never even was thinking about earlier in life. Like, I never, like, yeah, like, who doesn't ever want to be in a movie or like be an actor or something like that? But I don't know. I can't believe it, because I really love doing this, and I love making videos, and I love sharing the epic adventures with all of you guys. And not only that, I love even more is doing epic giveaways to some of you guys. And like I said, we gave away one of my Paramotor gliders to one of you guys. And what the best part about that was, Travis that won it, he already got properly trained, but he didn't have the gear, and I couldn't believe it. If you guys want to see that video, that's on one of my earlier live streams. So when someone wins, how would you get to contact them? Just reach out on their channel. So Elijah, I'm very glad that you said that because that's kind of a little important too. So to have a YouTube account, like just like you right now, to be on here, right, Elijah, your email account is hooked up to your username. So your username right now, Elijah, RC Aviation, is in my raffle wheel right now on my laptop inside the house on my YouTube channel, which I had to pay a lot of money for that thing because dude, I used to handwrite every subscriber's name until I got to 1,000 subscribers, and then it started to boom, and then it got way too hard to write down every single individual's subscriber's name. And that being said, there was people that always unsubscribed off my channel. Dude, there was one day, and I'll never forget it. I had like 400 people, like in a week or something like that, just unsubscribe off my channel, and I'll never forget that. Like, and I always wondered, like, what the hell was that about? You know what I mean? And like, it's funny because that's what kind of got me away from writing everybody's names down because then it would have been a little bit harder. And then I was looking things up of what other YouTubers did, and then I saw that there's this raffle wheel that you can buy as an app that's attached to YouTube. And what it does is that every subscriber that's on your YouTube channel, that username goes right in as soon as they subscribe. And and what's really cool about it too is that the more active you are once you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, the better your chances are at winning. Meaning, like the more comments you drop on the videos, the more likes you smash on the videos, the more shares you do, it helps your chances at winning some of these epic giveaways. James, are you going to Moonshiners? I'm actually trying really hard, but I'm having a lot of real life problems going on, dude. So I have a house, I have a small business, right? And I'm not going to kid anybody. This has been one of the hardest years for my business and the house life, right? So, dude, I'm not going to joke. I'm not going to kid anybody. Like a couple months ago, I started to have water pump issues, right? So what did I do? I want to go swap out a pressure switch on the pump. Totally working fine, but then sometimes it would just stop, or I'd have to go underneath the house. I would have to like wiggle the wire, it would turn right back on. Like I would like reset it basically. And then a few weeks ago, it completely stopped working, right? And I looked at the date on the pump, and it was like it wasn't original to the house. It was like probably the third pump to the house, and or I'm sorry, the second pump I should say to the house. But anyway, dude, I had to replace the whole water pump system underneath the house in the crawl space, and just getting the old system out, I almost didn't think I was gonna do it. And I tried calling a couple plumbers. It was like like I said, it was really busy for everybody. Nobody was coming. I was forced to do it. And I'm not a plumber. So, thanks for your advice. I have. Yo, you too, Elijah. Anytime, man. If you ever have any more questions, man, always message me anytime you want, man. Like I said, always stay tuned, man. Hopefully you'll win, dude. But like I said, but yeah, I had the water pump, dude. I totally redid that, which I almost made a YouTube video about. And then right after that, no joke, hours after that, my hot water heater took a dump, and I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. I actually had to have a plumber come for that because I couldn't have the valve shut off that's above it to like stop the water going to it, and it's also gas. So like to me, I just felt like, you know what, I'm gonna suffer for 2 days without hot water, which we all did. And we had a plumber come. That was a lot of money. I mean, it was an arm and a leg. And now I couldn't believe it. Like we just had a huge heat wave a week and a half ago. A week and a half ago. And what breaks? My AC unit, my central air. I couldn't believe it. So what did we have to do? We had to call a heat and air guy to come out. So, and then that happened. And then guess what? My van, my Paramotor work van daily ride just blew cylinder 7 and cylinder 8. I lost all compression on it. So, James, I am trying to get to Moonshiners. I don't know how I'm going to get there now, but I am trying. I want to get there to show off the epic SkyMax Pulsar really bad to everybody. And it's epic. So I'm still trying to get out there. So right now I would like to say I'm 70-30 on it. 70% going, 30% like my life. So, and I'm trying so hard to be a full-time YouTuber, and I feel like the hump is so close. You know what I mean? And like I said, everybody, that's why I'm trying to do these epic giveaways for all of you guys and to encourage new subscribers to come in. Because like I said, we can't do these giveaways until we climb higher. Like I said, these Invalo helmets are so expensive that most pilots don't have these. These are not cheap, especially once you try to hook up radio, your GoPro system hooked up to the mic. They're expensive, and I can't wait to give one of these away to you once we hit 50K subscribers. And like I said, there will be a lot of other giveaways too in between that. Like I said, we have an e-prop giveaway that is coming up as well. I also, like I said, I really love the idea of giving away paramotors, but I can't just give them away. I got to get the help from you guys too. So make sure you guys smash that subscribe button. Make sure you guys share my videos. Let your friends know what's going on. Even to your friends that don't want to fly, because maybe if they win, they'll give you the paramotor. So like I said, everybody has a fair chance to win. But like I said, I'm actually gonna go in the house. I feel like I am starving, and all the craziness that I had to deal with today, and then to coming on the live stream now. This was my favorite part of the day, by the way. This is all I really want to be doing. I love being in front of the camera. I love hanging out with all of you guys, and I just love talking about paramotors because they have been the most life-changing thing that has ever happened to me. And I hope you guys all go check out my most recent video that I just dropped on the Pulsar. So let me know what you guys think about that. And also, like I said, we have giveaways going on. And like I said, make sure you guys check out my most recent videos. We have giveaways that are about to drop. So like I said, I'm excited about that. And like I said, they're small to big. So it's very exciting. Like I said, those tools that I'm giving away too, I'm also doing a cash prize on top of each one of them. That'll be 4 separate giveaways. Like I said, we're building up the giveaway. The SkyMax Star right back there, the blue one with the Vitarazi Moster 185, and we're going to give away the Invalo helmet with also an E-prop or even a Helix, actually. I'm not against any of that because, like I said, a lot of people all fly different motors, so, like, same thing with the Envalo helmet. I won't actually have it, so when you win, we will order it and it will come right to you. So, which I am super excited about, and I just can't wait to do. But like I said, it all starts with you guys being supportive, dropping those likes. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Hit that notification button so you guys don't miss out on any of my latest things that I will be dropping because I have a lot of videos to come. And also, a lot of giveaways, and I don't want to see any one of you guys miss out. Because like I said, I want to see everybody win. Because that's how I feel like I've been. I feel like I've been winning. Even having all these crazy house problems. Now my van being a total loss. And I have no idea what tomorrow's going to be like. But I know it's going to be a good day. And that's what I always strive for, is to always be positive. And, things happen. It's just how life goes, And really, life always will get in the way for everybody, but it all depends on how you take it, right? And I always like to kill everything with a positive attitude, even knowing when everything seems to be against you. Life is still good. We still fly paramotors. I still have the hot rod. And, I'll get a car probably in a couple of days. I just need to really think about what to do because, like I said, money has been really being tossed around. So, man, a vehicle is not in the cards, so we'll see what happens. And like I said, I'm really excited to show off what's to come with flying these epic paramotors, and I can't wait. I just can't wait to see one of you guys win the Sky Max Star. And I just, with all these other giveaways too, it's going to be very exciting. So, like I said, everybody, I really enjoy the company, and I love doing these lives, and I love making videos. And I hope you guys all have a great night and a good work week ahead. So I will see you guys all in the next one, and I'll let you guys know what's happening. And maybe, who knows, maybe we'll get a brand new ride tomorrow. So that we will see. So make sure you guys all stay tuned. And like I said, I appreciate all you guys for watching, being subscribed. And I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace out.